These are the different types of NIV-capable machines that can be found in SGH. The most common one that you will encounter are the acute machines that are used for patients with acute decompensated type 2 respiratory failure. Of these, the Philips V60 machine is the one that is used in MICA. All other ICU ventilators can also be used as NIV machines. Of note, the transport ventilators such as the impact ventilator can also be used as an NIV machine, although this is most commonly used in the form of a transport setting when the patient is moved from one location to another. These are some of the indications for acute NIV. The evidence is strongest for patients presenting with COPD exacerbation and acute type 2 respiratory failure. The evidence is also strong with patients presenting with acute pulmonary edema. NIV can also be used if patients have type 2 respiratory failure from other causes such as kyphoscoliosis, and it can also be used as a form of palliation in patients with an established ceiling of care. Most importantly, before initiating NIV on your patient, ensure that the diagnosis is appropriate and there is a potential for reversibility. Before starting your patient on acute NIV, ensure that your patient does not have any contraindications. If your patient fulfills criteria for any of the mentioned absolute contraindications in this table, do not initiate the patient on NIV and consider intubation instead. If your patient fulfills criteria for relative contraindications, you can still proceed with NIV if clinically indicated, but do so with caution and have a low threshold to intubate when necessary. NIV should not be started in these conditions: acute asthma exacerbation, metabolic acidosis, COPD exacerbation without hypercapnia, and for patients with pneumonia who are non-immunocompromised. This is how you initiate a patient on NIV. Start with an IPAP of 8 and an EPAP of 4. You may require a higher EPAP in conditions like APO. You should start with a backup rate of 8 to 14. The amount of pressure support that the patient receives is the difference between the IPAP and the EPAP. If your patient requires a higher pressure support, increase the IPAP by 2 every 5 minutes until therapeutic response is achieved, or depending on patient tolerance. Aim to reach your target IPAP within an hour of NIV initiation. If you increase your patient's EPAP, remember to adjust the IPAP accordingly so that the pressure support is maintained. Finally, your FiO2 should be titrated to maintain an SpO2 of between 88 to 92%. Monitor your patient closely after NIV has been initiated. If your patient does not show signs of clinical improvement, ensure that NIV had been started for the appropriate clinical indication. As NIV does not correct the underlying pathology, ensure that your patient is receiving appropriate treatment, for instance, nebulizers for a COPD exacerbation. Check that the mode on the NIV machine has been appropriately set. Ensure that mask fit is adequate and there is no excessive leak, and that there is no significant patient-ventilator dysynchrony. Sometimes, the deterioration could be due to a worsening of the underlying disease process or as a complication of the NIV. Regardless, always have a low threshold for intubation if your patient is not improving. These are the signs of NIV failure. If your patient shows any of these signs, stop the NIV and intubate the patient immediately. Do not delay intubation in these cases, as this causes a worse outcome and has been shown to increase mortality. If you need to initiate NIV on call, call the RCCM Consult SR for approval. This includes NIV started by ED and other non-medical specialties.
It is very important to choose the correct size of NIV mask for your patient. This is to minimize the amount of leak coming out from the mask. For this mask, it comes in different sizes, S, M, L. you can see the size of the mask right here. This is the small size mask. There is a picture at the side here that you can use to gauge the size that is correct for your patient. Align the sizing guide diagram against your patient's face. The one labeled arrow here should be at the center of the eyeball. And then follow the sizing guide down. Keep your patient's mouth slightly open, like this. Look at the sizes here. For this face, the size should be M. It should be slightly lower than the lower lip and above the angle of the chin. I will now go through how to put the NIV mask correctly on the patient and to adjust it properly. This is how you put on the mask. You place it against the patient's face and then you loop it over the patient's head. Get somebody to help you to lift the patient's head up. And then once you have adjusted the position, you can clip and clip the other side. Adjust appropriately. You can tighten the straps here and on the two sides. Always ensure that you tighten the two straps together so that it is not to one side. Ensure that the mask is not too tight on the patient's face by inserting 2 fingers between the strap and the face. I will now go through the accessories required to set up the V60 NIV machine. This is the acute disposable NIV mask. This is a non-vented mask. As you can see, that there are no holes in the mask. This is the bacterial viral filter. This is the NIV circuit together with the expiratory port and the attachment for the proximal pressure line. Please ensure that you connect the 2 different ends to the correct parts. This here is the patient's end. You can connect this directly to the NIV mask, like this. This here is the machine end. You can connect directly to the machine. This is how you set up the V60 machine. First, you attach the bacterial viral filter to this outlet here. And then you attach the machine end of the NIV circuit to the bacterial filter. Ensure that it screws on tight. You can connect the proximal pressure line to the small port here. Plug in the power and the oxygen adapter. This is how you turn the machine on. This is the power button right at the bottom left-hand corner. Press on it. And the screen will come on. These are the settings of the NIV and these are the readings. And this is how you change the mode. For BiPAP, select ST. These are the settings that you can set for BiPAP. This is EPAP. This is the pressure that the patient breathes against when he is exhaling. We usually set the initial EPAP at 4 and titrate upwards as needed. This is how you change and can press accept. This is the IPAP. This is the pressure that the patient breathes in with. So the difference between IPAP and EPAP will be the amount of ventilatory support that the patient gets. And this is how you change the IPAP. Normally, we will keep the difference between IPAP and EPAP to be at least 4 and above. The amount of pressure support is 6. And this is the FiO2. You can also change this on this sliding scale. You can press accept. And this is the backup rate. So the patient will get at least 12 breaths per minute when you set it as 12. You can increase this to 16, between 12 to 20. You can go higher if required. This is the inspiratory time, which is the amount of time that the patient takes to inhale. You can set this between 0.8 or to 1.2. And then you can activate the exchange. These are the readings from the patient. This is the actual rate that the patient is breathing. This number will probably be higher than the set rate. And this is the tidal volume generated by the patient. This is the minute ventilation, which will be a function of rate times tidal volume. This is the inspiratory pressure, which should correspond to the IPAP that you set. This is the total leak, and this is the percentage of patient-triggered breaths. This is the ratio of inspiratory time against the total time in the breath cycle. Once your patient is connected and the settings are set, please check the readings here. The total leak should not exceed 50. If the leak here exceeds 50 like this, please check on the mask fit of the patient. Once this alarm appears, patient disconnect, please check all connections. And once corrected, you can reset the alarm here. If the tidal volume is low, please check on your patient. There may be a need to increase settings. If this proximal pressure line disconnect error comes on, together with a very high tidal volume, please check on the connection of your proximal line. You can also use the impact ventilator as an acute NIV setup. Instead of connecting this to a ETT, you can connect this to an NIV mask. For more details about the setup of the impact ventilator, please refer to the introductory video of the ZOLL Impact EMV Plus ventilator. Turn on the impact ventilator. To change to the NIV mode, go to the button next to the mode. Press it and change it using the knob here to CPAP and press the tick. Again, toggle on the same button to the PPV and change it to NPPV. Select it. To change the EPAP, press the button next to the PEEP. Toggle to the number that you want to change and change it to the number that you want. And again, press the tick. To add pressure support, press and hold on the same button and change to the required pressure support that you need. And press to confirm. You can change the FiO2 also by pressing the button next to it and change it up to the amount of FiO2 that you need. You can also use the PB840 ventilator as acute NIV. Instead of connecting this to the ETT, you can connect the mask to it. Once you switch on the ventilator, go to New Patient, press on the ideal body weight button, key in the correct ideal body weight, and you can go to the vent type. For BiPAP, click on it, turn the knob to change to NIV. You can choose between AC, SIMV, or spontaneous mode. For this demonstration, I would choose AC. Change the type to PC and press Continue. These are the parameters that you can set for this machine. This PEEP here will be equivalent to EPAP. You can change this up to the EPAP that you need. And this PI is the pressure above the PEEP. So if you want the IPAP to be 18, you need to put this as 10. Once you are satisfied with the settings, press Accept. Once you connected your patient to the machine, you can see that you are in NIV mode here, and these are the readings generated by the patient.